sick, and my kids started a program, a scholarship or a awards program, and a fund. And obviously I got better. And about a few months ago, I talked to Marjorie Matheson Hanson, changed the title from the David Emerson Achievement Award to the David and Sara Emerson Achievement Award. And I feel a little bit like a fraud because I've received so many accolades and so many good compliments from my colleagues and former students and everyone from this. But the reality is, without my wife Sara, I would have never been here. There would be no David Emerson Achievement Award, and you would have never known David Emerson. So I had this photo. This was one of my favorite photos of Sara. She was 23, and we'd been married just 2 years. And I thought it would be a good picture, so all the 22 and 23-year-olds in here, all of us really old people were one. But she was a remarkably beautiful and focused and wonderful woman. And until a little bit about it, I was really a screwed up mess for most of my life, certainly until I met Sara. To explain, I graduated 253rd out of 257 students. And I was strictly, I never did a felony, but I was pretty good. But unfortunately, I was drafted within a year of graduating from college, from high school. I went to service. I came back from service on an early out to go to college. Can you believe that? So I went on a date. I got a blind date with my wife Sara, and it went well for me. It did not go well for her. She told her roommate she'd never go out with me again. And so this is where I first believed in divine intervention, because I kept pestering her, and she did mention on the first date she liked tennis, and finally, to get rid of me, she agreed to go out. And we played tennis, and this is where divine intervention came in, because she whipped me bad, and she never beat me again. But we had a good time, and of course it was the start of a 55-year companionship. One other thing that I need to mention is that I had gotten out of the Army, I had gone back to work in the factory, and I was working 55-hour weeks and making very good money because of the overtime, etc. So in about July, she asked me when I was going to go down and apply at Northern Illinois, and I said, well, I'm making too good of money, and I don't think I'm going to go. And by this time I was totally in love with her, etc. And she says, well, if you don't go to college, you don't marry me. So guess what? I applied, I went to college, and I took to college like a duck takes to water, and Sara followed me the whole way. The first job I had I didn't like. I was a little fish in a big pond. So she said, well, find something that you do, Tom. So I answered an ad in the Wall Street Journal. I ended up as a big fish in a little pond, and after 2 years I didn't like that either. And I was just a few miles from my school, so I went down there a couple of times, and the dean pulled me aside and said, Emerson, you belong in academics, so come back and get your master's degree, which I did. Unfortunately, it was 1964, and that January, Sara was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So she was working 311 to get me through college, like so many people do, so many women do. But she did work part-time. We got her degree. I went to Eastern Michigan University and started at the University of Michigan on a PhD in accounting, which I didn't get. But something really good happened. We went into counseling. Sara wanted to have another child. And, you know, people with multiple sclerosis running after 2-year-olds is a tough business. So they want you to go to counseling, which we did. Both social worker and with the doctors, and then they agreed that, yeah, we could have a second child. And so Nancy was born in '69. But again, I went off to community college in Illinois. After 7 years, I left there as dean, but I was having a fight with the president. That happened a lot. And the bad thing is that we were living on a hobby farm, and I got the job in California. I flew out one night. I got offered that night at 10 o'clock, flew home, told Sarah, and she said, when do you start? I said, next week. And we had to sell the farm, and then we had to auction off everything in the farm. But guess who stood home and said, fine, let's do it? It was Sarah. After 3 years at Santa Barbara City College, I realized I wasn't going to become a community college president. Sarah and I had a lot of long talks, and she said, David, do what you want. Where are you going to be happy? And I said, well, I really enjoyed northern Illinois and eastern Michigan. That's what made me happy, teaching at the universities. And she said, go for it. So I applied another ad and came to St. Catharines, went back home to California. Now you have to understand, California, for a person that's mobility impaired, is ideal. The temperature is from 68, on average, daytime high is 68 to 85. She can always go outside. She never has to worry about the weather. She's made all kinds of friends. They love her, right? They don't know me, but they love Sarah. And the net result is that as we talked, she kept saying, you know, just do it, follow the heart. Problem was, I was a dean in California, and the offer I got from St. Kate's was by far less than half of what I was making. So I turned it down and moped. And Sarah came in and said, David, what do you want to do? I said, I really want to teach, but I can't go for the money. She said, well, call him. So I called Barry Sider was chair, and they got it up a little bit. Not very much. But Sarah says, you know what? Because you have to remember, we fought financial problems, health problems. She says, we've done it before. We can do it again here. And I have to tell you, Sarah and I enjoyed 30 of some of our best years in marriage here in St. Paul at the University at the College of St. Catharines. So the award was announced and changed, David and Sara Emerson. But in honor of Sarah, wife, mother, friend, mentor, the family has made a contribution to St. Catharines to raise the money so that the Accounting Achievement Award is now an endowed fund. It will last in perpetuity. It will grow as earnings grow. The payout will grow as earnings grow. And so we're really happy to announce that it is now an endowed fund. At this point, I would like to invite Professor Megan Kalina up to make the first award.
Wow. Thank you, David, for sharing with us the profound impact Sarah had in getting you to St. Kate's and supporting you during all your years here. We thank her very, very, very much. So your support for the students now is going to be ongoing with the David and Sara Emerson Achievement Award, and we are deeply, deeply grateful. This is an award that's going to be on display now in our business office. We had put together.
Wow.
I don't think David has seen it yet. We spent some time, we wanted to make sure that we had a beautiful award that's not going to hang in our office area. And for every recipient now, their name will be added to the plaque as we go. So, thank you. The qualifications for this award award are that the student must be a junior or senior accounting major with a minimum of 32 credit hours earned at St. Kate's. She must have an overall GPA of 3.2 with a major GPA of at least 3.5 with an emphasis on achievement. David is not involved with the selection of the recipient, but rather the accounting faculty make a recommendation and it's approved by the entire business department faculty. And so I'm very pleased to announce the first recipient of the David and Sara Emerson Award, and that is Michelle Instead. Michelle is a senior accounting major with a GPA in her major of 3.8. She's been on the Dean's List. She's also an accounting tutor and works very hard at helping all of our students that need a little extra help in accounting. She's very flexible. She meets with them on the weekends and the evenings. And we are very thrilled that she is in our department on a regular basis. So please join me in congratulating her once again. Thank you. Thanks. What an amazing experience. And I had the honor of meeting Sara, who is an amazing